In over a dozen cases that have been ruled as suspicious drownings, a smiley face has been found near the body. The smiley face killer has been somewhat of a theory for a while, from 1997 all the way up to 2017. 45 bodies of college-age males have been found in 11 states, all in bodies of water. And many of these cases are strikingly similar. While police have just ruled this off as an accidental drowning, New York City detectives Kevin Gannon and Anthony Duarte, both extremely credible sources with about 40 years of combined experience, have been working hard to solve these unsolved cases. They believe for many reasons that police have ignored obvious signs that we have a serial killer or a group of serial killers on our hands, and that they could be potentially responsible for up to 335 cases. All of the victims have been male, college-age, athletic, popular, and high on academic achievements. So they suspect that these murders may be out of jealousy. Almost all of the bodies found show signs of dying on land, and come back positive for a roofie drug. So why were these ruled as an accident? Let's look at the cases.
Storytime had the most dirtiest college roommate ever. By the way, we're calling her Jessie. So I moved in before Jessie and I get settled and decorate. The next day, she comes and throws her bag on the bed, then leaves. I thought it was weird because she didn't even say anything to me. Couple hours later, she comes back and I'm like, hello? And she's like, my bad, and comes give me a hug. She smelled very bad. She starts unpacking all of her clothes and blankets, but they smelled like mildew. Anyways, a week later, there's this party going on for freshmen, and she goes, but I stay in because I had a migraine. I told her that when she comes back, can she keep the light off? Now it's 2 a.m., and she comes back in very loud, uses the bathroom, then goes to sleep. And now I'm up, so I got up to use the bathroom too. When I sit down on the toilet, I feel something very squishy. It was dark because, like I said, I had a migraine. I get up, turn the light on, and I was sitting in her shit. Part 2 will be up soon.
My name's Kellen, and while me and my boyfriend Will were at B&Q the other day buying some stuff to decorate my new art room, I spotted this organiser. And I thought it was perfect to organise my stickers, and I thought we could do this together. So I took my stickers out of my old organiser, and then it was time to organise my stickers into the new box. This was pretty repetitive, so I ended up time-lapsing it, but as you can see, I just organised the stickers into individual compartments until I did all the stickers. I actually received even more Halloween stickers in the mail today, so I thought we could open those and add those to the collection too. So here's me just doing that. I then decided to label each compartment with the coordinating sticker, and I think it looks so pretty. Here is the completed organizer. I love it so much.
The TV show Black Mirror is genuinely one of the scariest shows that I've ever seen. But what if some of its storylines actually started to come true? Since the episode Nosedive, where you basically leave people Google reviews, we've seen the potential introduction of social credit over in China, and we don't quite have drones the size of bees yet, but people at Harvard are currently trying to make them. And for contacts with cameras, Samsung actually ended up getting a patent for smart contacts. But one of the most prevalent storylines that's actually trending today is the episode with Miley Cyrus in it. In this episode, she plays a singer named Ashley O, and she's famous for her sound, her look, her originality, and even though she seems happy on the inside, she's very miserable. She's being given medication illegally to stabilize her mood, and it gets to the point where her management has so much control that it really isn't even her anymore. And I remember watching this and thinking how sad this would be, and would we even know if a celebrity was going through this? And then we had the introduction of the Free Britney movement. And so many of Britney's fans were able to identify that she was in trouble before she announced to the public.
Hey guys, here's a short story that I got sent in, but it's definitely one of my favorite ones. Hey Luna, I definitely want to be anonymous for this story time because it's far too embarrassing. About a year ago, I was set to get married to my handsome fiancé of 2 years on Valentine's Day. After months of planning and meeting and tasting, everything was finally ready. My sister was going to be a maid of honor, so she threw my bachelorette party at our local favorite bar. I invited all of my cousins and all of my friends. My fiancé, on the other hand, only had one male friend named Mark, so my brother, who's also one of the groomsmen, took him out for his bachelor party. My brother brought along a couple of his friends, and my fiancé brought Mark. My bachelorette party was a ball. We had shots, toys, and I damn near blacked out drunk. I finally got home that night, and I didn't even wait for my fiancé to get back from his party. I just immediately passed out on our bed. He was out with my brother. There was going to be no chance of cheating. When I got up the next morning, my fiancé was beside me snoring. I woke him up, and we chatted about our fun nights out and excitedly made plans for our honeymoon. Okay, so let's fast forward a month later to my wedding day. It's Valentine's Day, and the room is filled with pink and red roses. Everything is perfect, just how I imagined it, and I'm ready to walk down the aisle and lock eyes with the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with. As the music starts, it feels like the longest walk of my life down the aisle. Family members cried and smiled, waving at me and taking pictures of my beautiful gown. As I get to the end of the aisle, I see my fiancé looking lovingly into my eyes. It all felt like a dream, but it was about to become a nightmare. I'm looking into my fiancé's eyes, saying our vows, and there's not a dry eye in the room. Then the priest gets to the part where he asks if there's any objections to our marriage. Well, hold on to your tea, because out of nowhere, my brother interrupts and says he objects. Everyone laughed awkwardly as if it was a joke, but it wasn't.
One time I was behind the register at Victoria's Secret. This customer walks in and immediately everybody spots her as a red flag. She's just picking up items, throwing them in her bag, not looking at sizes, not looking at colors. So everybody's like, everyone's on their walkie like, watch this customer. She's coming to the fitting room. She's headed to the cash wrap. Somebody get her. Check her ID. Get her. Get her. She has a bag full of stuff. And guess who gets her at the register? Me. So she comes to my register and she dumps out her stuff and we're having a regular conversation. Hi, how are you? Yada, yada, yada. Her total comes up to probably between $700 to $900. It was expensive. My manager is at the register next to me talking to me on the walkie. Ashley, make sure you get that ID. Don't matter what she's using, make sure you get that ID. So I ask her for the ID because she's paying credit. Why do you need to ask for my ID? Just take it, run it. I'm like, no ma'am, I'm sorry, I need your ID for the purchase. She starts to raise her voice.
Story time about why my mom kicked me out when I was 16. So a little background information. This had all started as soon as my dad left my mom and I. I was like 13 around the time. Well, ever since then, my mom would have different guys in and out of the house all the time. Like, we were lucky if a month went by and she was still with the same dude. Which, I mean, I kind of get it because my dad did leave us for a woman that he had started another family with. But at the same time, it was just a whole mess. Anyway, so she had got with this new guy, and we're gonna call him Tyler. And by the way, the dudes that she would date, they would literally live at our house. Anyway, so a week after he moved in, I started getting really close to him, which usually never happens. Usually I would try to keep my distance because I knew how wrong it was of her having all these different guys in the house when I'm only 16. Anyways, every time that my mom would go to work, he would invite me to go see a movie, and he would just be really flirty with me. And he was only 6 years older than me. And my mom was 32. You do the math. Anyways, like for part 2.
Before I start, I just want to say I haven't cleaned my pantry in months, and you probably haven't either, so don't judge me. So today I'm going to tell you guys the story of when Danny and I moved into our first home. But before that happened, when I was pregnant, we were renting out a room, and we shared a bathroom with 4 other people. We stayed there until Damien was around 4 months, and then moved into a guest house on the same property. We were both so excited. To others, it seemed very, very small, but honestly, it was more than enough for us. There was no actual kitchen, no microwave, no stove, and the fridge was outside, but that didn't bother me. I told Danny, no hay pedo, cómprame un little portable stove y con eso tengo. And he did just that. Problem solved. About a week later, he brought home a microwave that was going to be thrown away because it was outdated. I was like, what? To us, it looked brand new. I remember I helped Danny install it that same day. I don't know how I did it, but I was carrying the microwave. It was so freaking heavy. I didn't care. I just wanted it installed. But we did it together, and it was actually pretty fun. Another thing is we didn't really have a lot of cabinets to put our food in. So one day he came home with a huge kitchen cabinet that was given to him at work. And I was like, oh, heck yeah, this is perfect. Although I didn't have the biggest kitchen or the nicest appliances, I was happy. Genuinely happy. Most of my pans, pots, and knives were given to me by an aunt whom I love very, very much. Actually, when we first moved in together, we got our first set of plates from Goodwill. It's the blue plates that I always have in my videos. I am never letting go of those. I don't care how many people tell me that they don't really match with the rest of my stuff. A mí me vale madres. They're mine and not yours. A lot of things were given to us for free by people who will forever hold a special place in my heart. Sometimes when people would come visit us, they would look around and say, this is where you cook? And I'd probably say, yes. This is where the magic happens. Never once did we complain. We were blessed to have a roof over our heads and food on our table every single night. Although it would get really tough at times, I would always tell Danny, we will get through this together. And we did, and we will continue to do so. As I'm cleaning this pantry, I can't help but think about where we started. Although we're far from where we want to be, we've definitely come a long way. When we moved into this apartment, I know. I be in el waterworks. Okay, so like I was saying, when we moved into this apartment, the first thing that I went to was the kitchen. To me, it was perfect. It was like more than I could ever wish for, you know? It has so much cabinet space, a pantry, a dishwasher. Although we don't really use the dishwasher, but I still got excited because I was like, ooh, drying rack. So whenever I read comments like your food probably tastes bad because you're using an electric stove, or you need a bigger fridge, or your kitchen is really small, do you wish you had a bigger one? I immediately think of our first home. I cooked some bomb-ass meals, and I didn't need any of that. I've realized that no matter what you do, people will always have something to say. As long as you're happy with yourself and you're happy with your life, que te valga madres what everybody thinks. So this is what my pantry looks now. It's very nice and clean. I hope you guys really enjoyed my story time. See you guys in the next video. Bye!